Good morning. Well, it keeps threatening to rain, but not really raining. We had just a little sprinkle overnight, half a tenth or so. We're up to about 2/10 here at the farm, or just slightly over. We were just under yesterday. Now we're just slightly over it. It is probably going to get hot this afternoon, though, although outside right now it's not too terribly bad. So I want to let things dry up just a little bit before we do any spraying, which we will probably do more of later today, depending on what the rain looks like and if there's more stuff coming or not. But we're going to do a little planning. It's time to start thinking about 22 crop year a little bit more seriously. So I'm working on that here this morning. Dad was doing a little work on the backhoe. There was a couple of hydraulic lines that, well, they mounted off of here. They're for an auxiliary, like if you had a hammer, a concrete breaker or something on there, and the ends were kind of just hanging out there and he had bent them a little bit. So he decided to take the hoses off back here. We moved the ends up here. We aren't going to use those. If we ever need them, we can put the hoses back on. But so he was working on that, and then also noticed that we had a pin broken on the bucket. So that pin right there that holds the bucket on goes through this hole, and then it's supposed to sit in this channel. It's broke, so we're currently trying to find a replacement pin. Yeah, it's a little long and it's a little too big in diameter, but it was a good try. Just grind it down, we'll make it fit. Well, sometimes you just have to get creative. So we were trying to find a pin to put in there, or a chunk of steel to cut and put in there, and we couldn't find anything long enough the right diameter. So we kind of made something. We had this piece of steel. It's actually for like a 3-point on the anhydrous applicator or something. I think the old one maybe. I don't know exactly. But it wasn't long enough. And so we decided to weld a plate to one end. We drilled the hole and tapped the other end, and we're just going to bolt a plate to it to hold it in place, I guess. Well, it's in there. It'll hold for a while. I told Dad I think we should buy the pin to have it on hand for when this breaks, and he didn't seem too concerned about it, so I don't know. All right, Dad's got the backhoe about ready to go, so he went in to eat an early lunch. It's a little after 11 now. I'm going to go eat here pretty quick too, but back to working on the computer a little bit. So I've shown this spreadsheet a little bit in the past, but this is my spreadsheet that I use for keeping track of basically everything when it comes to varieties and chemicals and fertilizer and that stuff, or, well, most of the fertilizer. But I've made a copy of it. We're going to call this 22 planting outline here, and this is basically, we clear out all the data. I just copy it from 21, clear out all the data. Then I have to go through, and in this column where it talks about the crop, change all of those to whatever we're going to plant next year. So most of the soybean ground is either going to go to wheat or corn. The corn ground will all go to soybeans. The wheat ground will all go to corn, and we'll just got to figure out our acre split and where we want to be and all that kind of stuff, and if there's any special fields that aren't just going by the straight rotation. So there's the list. We gotta spend a little time on it. All right, well, I've gotten lunch and worked on my spreadsheet a little bit more here, and well, I put the fields in, I put the seeding rates, generic seeding rates in. I don't have prescription maps and all that stuff made up yet, obviously, but pretty good idea of how much seed that I need to buy, which is step one on why we're doing this. And basically what our acres are going to be for next year, how many acres corn, soybeans, and wheat, and what the split is. And we come out fairly even. Looks like we're going to be about 40 acres more of soybeans than corn, and just a touch more wheat than we had this year. So that's pretty close. The question is, do we want it like that, or would we rather plant more soybeans, or more corn, or whatever? So Dad and Phil and I will have to sit down and talk about that a little bit. Part of the decision-making process there is obviously profitability and outlook for those crops and everything. So grain prices are good basically on all three of our crops right now. Problem is, I got fertilizer prices for some of our fall broadcast fertilizer, the stuff that we will spread after the crops are harvested, mostly ahead of next year's corn ground. and they are easily double what we paid last year, if not more. And so that makes you start thinking, we cut back on the fertilizer a little bit. Do we plant more soybeans so we don't need to buy as much fertilizer? We got to look at the profit margins a little bit there. So anyway, I'm going to keep working on that a little bit when it's hot out, or just as we need to do stuff. But right now we're going to load up the sprayer. I've got 2 loads of insecticide we're going to spray, and then I think we're going to go spray some of that manganese with the 7520 in that little sprayer. If I got time to get all that done today, we'll see. Well, nope, never mind. The wind has picked up drastically since I went in the office like half an hour ago. And so I decided I better look at the radar, and there's a line of storms moving across north central Indiana right now. So we're gonna have to wait and see if it rains. I could go spray that manganese because the wind doesn't bother me very much. The issue is if it starts raining while I'm over there, that's not good. But I'm not spraying insecticide in the wind around other people's houses. Not doing it. Yep, bummer. All right. Well, I probably should have done that more this morning, but I was waiting for stuff to dry out from a little bit of rain we had overnight. Oh well. Guess I'll keep working on the computer. I need to start actually looking at hybrids and varieties on beans and figuring out what our seed order is going to be. So I guess I'll work on that. It's August. It's way too early for this. But you got to start somewhere and sometime, and mine is easier to figure out than all of my customers who don't want to talk about it yet. So we'll get an idea and go from there. Do you know how hard it is to pick out corn hybrids and bean varieties in August when you don't have yield data from this year and you don't even have prices to know how much this stuff costs? Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, yeah, I've kind of gone through our product guide that I've got here and said, all right, these are the ones I would be willing to plant. But then how do I narrow it down? Because let's see, I've got, let me find a page. This is the list of basically all the corn hybrids that I have available to sell, which doesn't mean that I have them available. It just means that they're in our lineup somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's probably 13 different genetic families, hybrids, that I would be willing to plant on our farm. I'm not going to plant 12 or 13 different hybrids. So we have to narrow it down. You want to have a good mix of proven products that you know work, that we've planted before, and we are confident to plant on a lot of acres. Maybe some older, little bit cheaper genetics that still perform really well for us, but maybe aren't as widespread of a fit across the wider area. And some new products that are supposed to be good, but we don't know. Like this 09 T26. I don't know anything about that. It says it works in our area. Has pretty good ratings. I don't know. So am I going to plant 150 acres of that? Not a chance. Will I plant 20 or 30 acres of it? Absolutely. So we know, so that next year we can plant more of it if we need to. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do, but it's just there are so many options and it's tough to narrow it down right now. It is 3, come on, watch, 2:30 in the afternoon. Look how dark it is. Oh my. Oh, it's just sweltering humid out here. It's gonna rain. My phone's not gonna show this accurately because it brightens right up when you get outside, even though it's dark. Yeah. Let's take a look to the, oh yeah, it's pouring rain up there. You see that? It is pouring rain a half a mile from here. The lights are on out in the field. That's where they're tiling. Yeah, we're about to get dumped on here. I'm glad I didn't load the sprayer up and drive 10 miles, then get rained out. Doesn't look so bad off that way to the west, but I think it's gonna rain. Clouds are moving fast. Well, that's not so bad. That's a nice rain. It might pick up a little bit. Until it's a river running off the driveway over there, it's not raining that hard. Oh, it is getting closer. I'm surprised Dad's not back yet. He's still at the field with the backhoe. Okay, well, I'm making some progress on the seed side of stuff. We ended up with just over 4/10 of an inch of rain. Pretty nice rain, actually, and it's drying up outside. Or, well, it's not drying up, but it's cleared off. All right, well, I was doing some planning with Dad and just talking to him about some stuff. He's working on my floor. The hybrid planning stuff for next year is going all right. Keep in mind that anything I do now is going to change 15 times between now and spring and when we actually plant it. So we're doing the best we can. It's not critical right now, but you got to start somewhere. So I'm kind of tired of working on that. So I'm going to run down to my seed warehouse. Got a little bit of stuff to do down there. It's cooled off considerably since it rained. I'll take a walk through the house before I go out there just to see where we're at with everything. They were, the plumber rough-in plumbing side of stuff is all done. They're working on some of this kind of stuff. That looks like just temporary protection. That's the air duct for the toe kick in the kitchen cabinets. They're getting all the ductwork finished up. A lot of stuff downstairs. Oh, check it out. They got our fireplace installed. Sweet. Well, that looks good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Got the vent there, just got to make a connection, it appears. Sweet. Even got the gas line hooked up to it. Awesome. All right, so I've got this nice electric forklift over here. And I was looking at it the other day and noticed that the little indicator light on my battery wasn't flashing anymore, which means it's low on battery acid, more or less, but water in the batteries. See, there's a little light here that's supposed to blink. It's not blinking. So when you take the cap off and you look down in there, which you guys can't see, it's dry. So we need to fill them up. So the other day I went to the store and bought a whole bunch of distilled water. We're going to top the battery off. Well, this is going to take a little more water than I was planning on. I bought 7 gallons, thought that would be plenty. I used 2.5 up on a quarter of this battery, just those 6 cells, so I'm going to need some more. Takes a lot of water in all these. Probably was bad that I let it go as long as I did. Oh well. All right, well, I guess I need 3 more gallons. I did pretty good, but this quarter here, this 6, and that one I didn't quite get full, but it's better than it was. I'll get some more before I do anything with it. That is the nice thing right now, is that I'm not really using the forklift very much, so it's okay. And it was still running okay. I just think that filling them up will help my battery life. We're back down at the farm. You guys hear that noise? My boys are here cleaning Grandpa's workshop. Not yet. You gotta keep going. Oh yeah. Gotta get all the sawdust. What you doing? Cleaning?
Sawdust stuff.
Getting all Grandpa's sawdust?
You don't want it. It's not dirty.
It's dirty?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know how the boys that they play?
Yep. They're doing a good job.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, just get the sawdust. It'll be okay. All right, well, we raided Grandma's snacks. Whoa, careful. And it's time to go home. Thanks for watching again today, everybody. It is a little bit of a slow time for us, and I know that my videos are not the most exciting thing in the world right now, but that's part of it. And I set out to show people what we do every day, what farmers do every day, when I started making these videos. And so while it's not riveting content all the time, and I could not make a video, it's kind of defeating the purpose of showing you what I do every day, because some days I don't do as much as other days. So anyway, I don't know what's going on tomorrow. If it's wet or rainy or crappy and I'm not doing stuff and just in the office, I probably won't make a video. But I might. I don't know. If I go on the road doing seed business stuff, then I probably won't either, and that is something else that I need to do. So Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you again when we see you.